Here at the Robotics Research Center at West Point, not only are we developing leaders of character, but we're also developing cutting-edge technology in robotics and autonomous systems, artificial intelligence, and machine learning. And of course, helping to educate students in an Army that's more increasingly reliant on artificial intelligence, machine learning.
We're conducting research on ground robots that evolves mostly around navigation. Robotics technology kernel has been implemented on some vehicles such as the M-Razor and a Humvee. Typically, these robots will navigate autonomously to position, providing sensor readings back to the end users.
In the ground vehicle autonomy, we have a number of projects that are looking to do path planning, localization, and navigation for small ground robots that are operating either indoors or outdoors. Man-packable robots that we can use indoors for site exploitation, trying to find out if there's hazards for soldiers before they go into that environment, and also typical roads for navigation.
The Robotics Research Center at West Point is currently trying to extend RTK in two directions. We have a project that is using a GEM E2 electric car, and we're trying to get it to drive autonomously on-road. So currently RTK does not have on-road behaviors, and we're developing these on-road behaviors. And we also work on smaller robots with indoor navigation, trying to localize and map a building in 3D.
Our second research vector is aerial robotics. We have a number of projects. One is a swarm capstone, where we're looking at heterogeneous agent control. So we have quadcopters and fixed wing aerial vehicles that are communicating with one another, sharing their locations, and then executing swarm behaviors in order to perform certain missions.
We're working on systems that from a distance you can send out drones that autonomously go out and work on detecting those radiation sources so we can keep personnel away from that danger while also collecting that data.
Within West Point, you get to do a lot of things that you wouldn't get to do in other colleges or other universities, specifically to the Army. So my specific project is helping modernize the Army and detect radiation in ways that you've never been able to before, and that's a pretty unique experience.
Our project is using a drone to assist an infantry squad with gaining an advantage on the battlefield, giving an infantry squad a picture of the battlefield so that they'll be able to see where they need to go or where the enemy is, and then also being able to affix certain offensive capabilities to the drone.
The other area we are working on is lethal autonomous weapon systems, and here we address the ethical questions. Can a machine be more ethical than a human in combat?
Most people don't think STEM and humanities in the same place, right? But basically it's important for us to work together in this case because we're talking about something very serious. We're talking about life and death. We're talking about war. And there's ethical ramifications for these things. So if we're going to give robots and artificial intelligence the ability to kill people and not kill people, we need to have that discussion about ethics, and that's why I'm here.
My perspective that I can offer to this robotics research effort is my experience in Mosul, in Iraq, multiple deployments to Afghanistan. What I'm able to do here under the auspices of the Modern War Institute is helping reshape and guide the research efforts here at West Point away from a counterinsurgency type of environment to one that is peer versus near peer.
In addition to DoD sponsors, we also reach out to academia and industry as well, and many of our students will go out to industry and to really see some of the cutting-edge research that is happening.
The cadets get tremendous value out of the multidisciplinary nature of a lot of these senior design capstone projects. They learn to work as a team of multiple different people with different sets of expertise that don't necessarily understand what the other person has to contribute, and so they have to learn how to realize some of these differences and come together to solve a problem.
West Point really gives me the opportunity to see the challenges that really motivate me in robotics. Making robots work in extreme environments, making them be able to plan their motions and move.
We design the robots in the lab. We take them out into the slush and half the systems don't work. So it really informs us engineers and designer R&D folks that, okay, you got to think outside the lab environment. Everything is not ideal on the battlefield. At West Point is unique only because We have access to cutting edge resources. We have access to cadets who are young, talented, excited, sort of unencumbered minds. And we also have access to military airspace and a whole lot of training ranges. We can quickly go out, test our robots and equipment, and come back without impeding any other movement or traffic.
The thing that West Point can offer you as a cadet is not only cutting edge technology, but do so within the context of being a person of character, being a future Army officer of character, and doing that in an ethically sustainable way.
Here at the Robotics Research Center at West Point, we develop leaders of character and the cutting edge technology not only for the Army and the nation, but for the world.